Alrighty, we're back at it with Chazzy Boys series. So Chaz is using an Ojama / armed dragon deck. It's not the strongest deck in the world, so I'll be very surprised if he won the majority of his matches. I reckon he'll get beaten by a few people at least in Duelist Kingdom, because the deck is it's very tactical to use. It's not a bad deck with the way it works, but if Chaz draws a bad hand, he will lose very quickly, I think is the best way to put his deck. He throws down a polymerization, so you'll have a 2500 defense, so Weevil will have a hard time getting through that at least. So Ojama yellow and red fused together. You just need Ojama monsters, it doesn't matter which one, but Ojama Knight comes to the field, 2500 defense, and will render 2 of Weevil's monster zones unusable. Alright, Chaz also has a D-Spell and the Ojama Duo as well. You can also use that Ojama Duo to fill up a couple of your opponent's monster zones as well. And Weevil plays Killer Needle. That same card he used to start off against Yugioh. Oh, stop defense. Yes, I did put a stop defense in Weevil's deck for a functionality. And that puts Ojama Knight into attack mode, and it is destroyed. Okay, Weevil off to a good start. I guess that is a downside to 0 attack monsters if they are forced to attack mode. Chaz has just drawn the Armed Dragon level 5, and unfortunately for Chaz, he has got nothing to play. He could use the effect of Ojama Duo, but might be able to summon a few Ojamas himself, but that'd only be 1000 defense. Chaz losing life points, and losing life points quick. He's down to 4000 already. It's only in turn 4. And Armed Dragon level 7. Chaz has drawn a shocker. Chaz here has drawn an absolute shocker of a hand. Ojama Duo. It will summon 2 Ojamas to the opponent's side of the field. I think you can then remove the trap card from your graveyard, and you might be able to... I think you can summon 2 Ojamas from the deck. But oh dear, Chazzy Boy has not drawn a good hand in this one. And okay, Pot of Duality. Chazzy Boy may be able to you'll be able to see the top 3 cards of his deck. There's Wabaku. There's Ojama Green. And Ojama Black. So Chaz has selected Wabaku. He throws that down and straight to the end phase. I don't know if there's really that much more that Chaz can do here. So Chaz activates Wabaku. And turn change back to Chaz, who has just drawn the Ojama yellow. And Chaz is going to have to go for a go around here. He's only got 450 life points. Could he have used Ojama Duo to... banish his Cuff and Go special summon 2 Ojama monsters. Oh, he might have been able to actually summon 2 Ojama monsters with the effect of that card. Either way, Chazzy Boy will get another go around here. I mean, even if he special summoned 2 Ojamas, he probably wouldn't have been able to keep them on the field long enough. Or actually, he might have been able to do it during his phase. Okay, maybe Chazzy Boy could have had an option there, but Weevil got him early. And if Chaz played that Ojama card earlier, he would have lost them either way. Well, Chaz will get another attempt here. It is still best of 3, so that is the downside to Chazzy Boy's deck. If it draws a bad hand, he can find himself in a lot of trouble. Okay, there's Ojama Pajama. That's a very good card. That Chaz needs that card early. It can make his deck function a lot better. Pot of Duality has also been drawn again. He's got Armed Dragon level 5. There's Monster Reborn, Ojama Black, and Ojama Delta Hurricane. Alright, Chaz selects the Monster Reborn. So Ojama Pajama, you can discard cards from your hand and you can draw Ojama cards from your deck. It's actually a very useful card for the functionality of this deck, Ojama Pajama. Alright, there's Flying Kamakiri number 2. And Flying Kamakiri number 2 goes in for an attack. Oh, Chaz doesn't activate Waboku. Maybe looking to save it just in case he needs to use Waboku to get a tribute to the field. Block with Waboku, keep the monster down. There's Ojama Green. And Ojama Pajama is activated. What's Chazzy Boy up to? No, doesn't use the effect. Goes for Ojama Green face down on the field. Now he does have Waboku, so he is still protected. Maybe Chaz doesn't want to throw any of those cards from his hand to the graveyard, because to use Ojama Pajama, I believe you have to discard from your hand. And there it is. Chaz activates Waboku, so Ojama Green will be protected. So Flying Kamakiri number 2 and Gokubor staring down Chaz. And Ojama Green, he is protected. So the Chaz will be able to get Armed Dragon level 5 to the field. There's Ojama Red. Alright, there goes Ojama Green. Armed Dragon level 5 has come to the field. And Chaz straight to the battle phase. So not utilizing Ojama Pajama just yet. Does have Ojama Red. Maybe looking to try to get another Ojama to get that polymerization going. And Chaz will be able to upgrade Armed Dragon level 5 and get it to Armed Dragon level 7. 2800. So a lot of attack points straight off to the field very early for Chaz in this one. Much better hand than what he had in the last duel. So Chaz should be a lot more competitive in this match, especially with Ojama Pajama. Very useful card. As we see a face down from Weevil. And Gokubor to defense mode as well. So Weevil on the defensive now. And Chaz has just drawn Ojama Black. Chaz holding the cards in his hand, maybe just trying to build up some counterplay in case he needs it, because Weevil does have Dark Hole, he does have Fissure. Was put in his deck for functionality, otherwise if you don't have those sorts of cards in those Duelist Kingdom decks, whoever gets the strongest monster to the field first is pretty much the winner. So turn change back to Chaz, he's got Negate Attack. So as long as Chaz can get his Armed Dragons out early, his deck is actually pretty good. And he can always use the Ojama King. As we saw in the duel with Mako, he ended up getting Ojama King to 5,000 attack points. Alright, draw face for Weevil, 7,100. And they face down defense. And straight to the end phase. So Weevil losing defensive cards here. There's Ojama Red again. Okay, and this time polymerization. So both Ojama Reds are being used here to fuse together the Ojama Knight. 2,500 defense. Doesn't have any attack, but can still act as a defensive shield. Chaz would love to get the Ojama Country. I think it's called Ojama Country, where you can flip the attack and defense. However, With Armed Dragon on the field at 2800, why would you? Alright, draw face for Weevil. 6 cards in hand. And goes with another face down defense. So defending is all that Weevil has been able to do here. And Weevil will not be able to defend forever. Chaz now has just drawn another Ojama Black. He's got 3 of each one in his deck. Kind of had to constitute a 40 card deck of this strategy. Alright, there's Ojama Trio. So what does Chaz go for here? There's Ojama Country. That's one he could go for. There's Ojama Magic. And now Chaz... Oh, he discarded Ojama Black. Well, he may have misread the card, because if you discard Ojama Magic, you can get one of each of them. Although there is... I mean, Chaz can still discard Ojama Magic on the next turn. Mind you. As well, so... Maybe waiting for another polymerization. He does have a few of them in his deck. Alright, end face for Weevil just went for another defense. There's Armed Dragon, level 3. Alright, there's Ojama Pajama's effect activated again. You can activate that effect a lot. One thing that Chaz would have to be conscious of, though, is drawing all the cards out of his deck. And running out of cards to draw. Ah, there we go. That may have been what Chazzy Boy was waiting for. So our Ojama Magic is now in the graveyard. He will pull one of each of the Ojama, green, yellow, and black. And he has that Ojama... so Ojama Delta Hurricane, is that what it's called? So if he can get Ojama green, black and yellow all to the field, he'll be able to play that and be able to destroy all of Weevil's monsters. Alright, there goes Flying Kamakiri number 1, and Armed Dragon level 3 did get the win over that other face down. I may have just missed it, what that actually was. I was looking down at... Just checking if there was any new comments. I actually missed what that face down was for Weevil. Alright, Weevil has played the big insect in attack mode. So what's he got? Insect armor with laser cannon. Nice. And laser cannon armor as well. So that's a 1,000 point increase altogether. However, it won't give him enough to get over the Armed Dragon level 7. Chaz has just activated Ojama Pajama again. Select one card to banish. Banishes Ojama Magic. Oh, and he's negated the attack. Discard. Oh, I may have missed that. Where did Chaz get that effect from? Was that from one of the Armed Dragons? Where did he get that negate the attack from removing from play? I have missed where that actually came from. Where that effect actually stemmed from. Anyway, Armed Dragon level 7 has just gone in for an attack. I'm sure someone will let me know. Chaz removed the Ojama Magic from play. I've actually missed where that effect came from. Did that come from Ojama Pajama, or did it come from one of the Armed Dragons? Or from Ojama Knight? There's Ojama Trio. And, oh dear, Weevil's entire side of the field, his monsters, he cannot play any more monsters. He's got tokens and 2 unusable monster zones. That's where this deck can actually come in can actually be very devious. It's actually a very fun deck to watch. So I'm not familiar with the Ojama deck in the slightest. This is literally the first time I'm watching some of these cards, so I too am starting to just come to grips with some of the effects that they have. That's why I have to get other human players to play this one, because I have not learned how to use an Ojama deck. They know the strategies for them a little bit better than I do. Or probably a bit better than I do, but Armed Dragon level 7 has just activated its effect. Now that effect I do know. You throw away a card from the hand and everything that's of equal or less attack is destroyed. So Weevil lost 900 life points from that as well. Chaz has just thrown down Monster Reborn. And Weevil is going to take a lot of damage. In fact, I think Weevil may be gone on this one. 28 and 24 is 5,200. So that alone, Armed Dragon. Chaz has got Armed Dragon level 3, 5, and 7 all on the field. That's actually quite hard to pull off. That's actually quite impressive. Alright, well, Chazzy Boy gets the victory. So we are now at 1-1. He drew an absolute rotter in the first game, which is going to be a factor that we'll take into account for Chazz's deck in a whole, if he does draw a bad hand. Winder, Priestess of Gusto. I've got Win the Wind Charmer on actual card. I have to make a deck out of them sometime as well. Alright, Weevil wins rock, paper, scissors and elects to go first in this third and final tiebreaker match for Chazzy Boy here. Can Chazzy Boy and his weak Ojama deck, or supposedly weak, in the show, can it win its way through Duelist Kingdom? Beat Mako yesterday. Sorry for the spoiler if anyone hadn't seen that match. It was a good match though. Chaz and Mako, still worth watching. The Battle City match that came before this was Weevil and Mako, which I tried not to get the same duelists playing, and Weevil and Mako played in Battle City by its sheer chance, and Mako will play the Gravekeepers after this one as well. So, by accident. However, the Mako and the Weevil match from Battle City that came out just before this one, it will be available to watch now. That was an absolute classic. Weevil and Mako in Battle City. That turned out a lot better than I thought it would. Great finish as well to the match. As Ojama tokens are summoned to Weevil's field with the effect of Ojama Duo. Alright, there's that Ojama muscle card as well. He's also, Chazzy Boy does have Armed Dragon level 3. And he's gone to summon it, so Weevil's got the one face down monster there as well, and 2 tokens. Alright, Chazzy Boy looks like he's interested in an attack, and decides not for the face down, decides to go for one of the Ojama tokens. Weevil will take 300 points of damage. He did play D and Keto, so he's got 8,700 points now. Alright, Weevil, what have you got? Oh, Fissure. There goes Armed Dragon level 3. And Chaz is going to activate the effect of Ojama Duo by the look of it. He's going to pull 2 Ojamas. He's picked red and blue. Now, he does have Ojama Blue on the field already as well, face down. So if Ojama Blue's destroyed, Chazzy Boy could get one of green, black and yellow at least in his hand. So if he draws a Monster Reborn... Monster Reborn. If he draws a Polymerization, he could be looking at some good fusions here as well for his Ojamas, the Ojama Knight or even the Ojama King. There's Ojama Simulation. I think that's how you say that. I don't think that card actually has a use because it says light machine fusion monster. I might have to consider adding one to Chazz's deck to actually give that card some function. Otherwise it can't do anything because the only fusions in there are Chazz's Ojamas. So I might throw in a... was there a light machine monster that he used in the GX series? I don't remember. Let me know in the comments. Is there a light machine fusion monster that was in Chazz's deck that Ojama assimilation card could go with? Might even have to give it a Google, see if there's one out there. As an Ojama Blue is destroyed. Alright, so Ojama Pajama and Ojama Match have been added to Chazz's hand. So Ojama Blue doesn't just have to be Ojama monsters, they can be the magic and traps as well, which is very useful because Ojama Pajama is really, really good for the functioning of Chazz's deck as a whole. Alright, turn change back to Chazzy Boy, who has just drawn another Ojama Blue. Alright, let's see some tactics here, Chazzy Boy. That's why you didn't need the strong cards in GX. It's because he was... Chazzy Boy to Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is like Triple H in the Attitude Era. He's a cerebral assassin. So what's Chazzy got for us here? He's decided to pull Ojama Yellow. Oh, that's right. You can also pull a Armed Dragon monster with that Ojama Match effect as well. And then he can summon one. Normal summon a monster to the field. He could do that with Armed Dragon level 5 here. Will require a tribute, but Ojama Red, Ojama Blue, take your pick. Ojama Red is selected. I mean, Ojama Blue still has that. If it's destroyed, you can get 2 of the Ojama cards out the deck. Nicely done by Chazzy Boy. He has got the Armed Dragon level 5. And he goes after Gokubor. Weevil loses 1200, and you feel like Chazzy Boy might be starting to pick up some momentum here. He's gonna upgrade his Armed Dragon level 5, and he's gonna pull out the Armed Dragon level 7. Now at 2800, Armed Dragon level 7. If Chazzy Boy draws level 10, he can get rid of his Armed Dragon level 7, and then he can have a 3000 beat stick that can destroy all of Weevil's monsters when it's played. Now Chaz does have Monster Reborn. He could bring back Armed Dragon level 5 if he wanted to. So Ojama Pajama is activated. What card would you like, Chazzy Boy? He has gone with Ojama Country. He'll have to discard something. And goes with Ojama Assimilation. Well, I guess that card can't actually be used for anything, so discarding it doesn't cause Chazzy Boy any problems. Weevil plays Remove Trap and gets rid of Ojama Pajama. Devastating for Chaz. It's a good card. There's Ojama Black. So Ojama Country would flip the attack and defense of all the monsters as long as an Ojama is on the field. So Chazzy Boy not quite ready for that yet, I don't think. He's just thrown down Ojama Black. The Ojama an Armed Dragon deck, it requires patience. Patience is not something I have personally, although some people disagree. They say that I have a very good attention span and the drive to... Well, I mean, I do Pokemon solo runs. I've done nearly 100 of them in Gen 1, all using different Pokemon, so I guess I do have a... I guess I am patient from a certain point of view, although I do speed that game up to like breakneck speeds. I don't have the patience to sit there and play it in real time. Alright, Chazzy Boy in for the attack. It is Kuwagata Alpha that is destroyed. That's what that A symbol stands for as well, Alpha. I've seen it written as Alpha before as well. Alright, it's It's a long, methodical match here from Chazzy Boy, but you feel like that Weevil... I wonder what Weevil has in his hand. Oh, there's polymerization. Chazzy Boy's pulled it. Weevil must have a shocker in his hand. Weevil does have a couple of high-level monsters. He's also got, like, Lava Moth, Great Moth, and Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, all which can't be played from his hand. So Weevil, and again, cards like Cockroach Knight and all that, Weevil has a lot of cards that aren't great for his... that aren't great for continuation, if that makes sense. Alright. Oh, Weevil had a trap hole down, so he may have been trying to trap Chazzy Boy there. So Ojama, there's two Ojama Blacks. One of them's already on the field. So Ojama Black, Yellow, and Green will meld together to make the Ojama King. Now, there is an Ojama Country card there as well. There it is, the Ojama King has come to the field. It's 3,000 defense. It will render 3 monster zones unusable. So if you got Ojama King and Knight, you can actually make like all of their monster zones unusable. There's a card called Ground Collapse, which does that as well. There goes Ojam. Was that Ojama Match or Ojama Match? Oh, and oh, there we go. And 5,000 attack for the Ojama King. Chazzy Boy throws down Monster Reborn as well. You go with Ojama. Oh, you could go with a Gokabor as well, which has got 1,400. So remember, the defense and offense will flip. Weevil with 7,200 life points probably thought he was safe. Weevil is going to lose all of his life points. This one's done. Oh, okay. I tell you what, that Ojama King, that effect with Ojama Country, it takes some time. It's a methodical strategy, which won't work against most good decks. However, it is very fun to watch. And in the Duelist Kingdom, very, very effective. Chazzy Boy wins 2-1. Despite that first game, Chazzy Boy did not draw any good cards. However, question B, he could have played that Ojama duo, but Chazzy Boy gets better with the deck every time he plays. And this one is done. So we will have Mako going up against the Gravekeepers as well. And the Gravekeepers deck is that is a beautiful deck. That's coming up. Thanks everyone for tuning in, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, take care, farewell.